So in this lesson, I want to give you guys a real life demonstration of me looking for a product inside of Jungle Scout's product database. Now there's two different areas that I'm going to be looking for products in. One is the product database, and the second one is the opportunity finder. So we'll start with the product database, and then in a later lesson, we'll jump into the opportunity finder. Now, I haven't pre-searched at all. So like you're literally watching over my shoulder. And I thought about that, like, man, should I do like search ahead of time to try to find something? Because it would be faster. But I think it's really important for you guys to just kind of like watch over my shoulder as I do real life product research, because I'll walk you through what's going through my head, and you can start to get into my head a little bit about like what looks good, what doesn't look good, and then you can use all those, that same thinking. So let's go ahead and jump right into the product database. As you remember from next lesson, I've selected a few of the categories that I prefer. Now, how this works is there's essentially all of Amazon's products, and there's 75 million of them. All of Amazon's products that sell one per month or more have been loaded into this database, and we can search and filter through all of them using all this different criteria, right? So there's like whether or not it's a standard or oversized product, which pretty much just means like standard fits in a shoebox, oversized bigger than that. Who the main seller is, whether it's an FBA seller or fulfilled by merchant or Amazon seller. And then we have all these different filters, right? You can filter by price, net after fees, the rank, the sales, revenue, et cetera, et cetera. You can read through all of those. Jungle Scout does have filter sets, which you can actually load and use in here if you would like to do so. But that being said, for this purpose, I would prefer to teach you guys how to kind of come up with your own. That way you're finding all these like diamonds in the rough that a typical Jungle Scout user isn't able to find, all right? So to start, big picture, how I think about this is to start, I'm gonna look for something that's like at a good price point, good demand, low competition, and hopefully it's something for me to improve upon. And then if there's a whole bunch of results, then I'm gonna start to filter or narrow down the search a little bit. So as far as price is concerned, I prefer to sell something minimum of like at least $15, but actually closer to like 18 or 20. If you're selling an item for like 12 bucks, it's just hard to make any real money off that. All right, so I said minimum $18. I'm gonna say, show me products that have at least one review, but a maximum of, let's say 60, okay? So this is gonna be all the products that have between 1 and 60 reviews, over $18. They sell at least, let's start with 500 sales per month. And let's do a max rating of 3.7 stars. So this means it's gonna show me all the products on Amazon that are at least 18 bucks. They have between 1 and 60 reviews, 3.7 stars or less. And I chose 3.7 because like visually that shows up as 3.5 stars on Amazon. And they're selling at least 500 units per month. So this is like, okay, these products are selling well. 500 a month is a lot. These products are selling well, even though they get kind of crappy reviews and they don't even have that many reviews, right? So this is how I'm coming up with product ideas, because if you're just like sitting at your desk all day and you're just trying to think of all these different product ideas to come up with, it's actually pretty difficult to think of like these a little bit weird or strange product ideas, right? So that's why the product database is so powerful. It's gonna show you all these different product ideas that you wouldn't otherwise think of. So I'm looking on here, like it's a 120 plate pack, right? It's like, I would never have thought of that if I was just sitting at my, I never would have thought about that if I was just sitting in my office trying to think of product ideas. Or this collectible plate or nesting dolls or whatever else. So there's all kinds of these a little bit obscure products. Now, I have all these products here. There's a lot of them. There's 12,000 of them. We'll start looking through them. But how I'm narrowing down my product selection from this point is mainly based off whether or not I think I could get this product manufactured easily. And essentially like, okay, is this relatively simple? Is it not too, like breakable? So I'm mainly at this point looking through the photos, because I know all these products here match my criteria, but I'm thinking now like, okay, is this something like relatively simple, doesn't break? You know, can I get this manufactured in China relatively easy? So like plates, yeah, I probably could. These collectible plates, that might be something that's has to be licensed. I don't know who Captain January is, but some of you guys watching this probably do and are making fun of me right now. Nesting dolls, that could actually be a decent product idea. Color printing calculator, it seems like it would break a lot. Reusable plastic covers, I could get those manufactured relatively easily. I don't really like the stuff that goes on or in your body. Wax filters, not quite sure what those are, but I'd probably stay away from them. Parfait desert cups, those would kind of work. So there's definitely some ideas in here, right? Now, what you have to keep in mind is the way that we're filtering through these products is these are individual products that meet our criteria. But that doesn't mean that like the niche or the opportunity as a whole is a good opportunity for me. So this individual product meets this criteria, but I need to verify that the niche or the opportunity as a whole is going to be a good opportunity for me on Amazon. So the way I go about doing that is I go ahead and just go straight into Amazon. So let's go up to some of these products. What was the first one I thought might be good? These nesting dolls. I'm going to go ahead and open this on Amazon, take a look at it on Amazon. Now, keep in mind, the first example is actually what I was just about to say, is the products are like updated in Jungle Scout's database every between like 1 and 5-ish days. So there are products on here, like this particular product, this was probably updated, yeah, it actually even shows me that. This product was probably updated 1, 2, 3, 4 days ago, and since then it's run out of stock, okay? But that's okay. It met this criteria when it was in stock, but it's been out of stock for a few days now. So let me see if nesting dolls as a whole on Amazon are a good opportunity. And to do so, I'm just gonna search for whatever I think is the main keyword, all right? So these all look like nesting dolls. This looks good. From this point, I'm gonna run the Jungle Scout extension, which I do by just clicking the little Jungle Scout button up there. And it's gonna show me in real time what this niche looks like as a whole. So I get to see, actually all the products that are in stock, how well they've been selling, as far as the how the demand or how the sales are distributed, and how these different products are ranking. And it also gets to get a little bit of a better idea about what products or what the products actually look like on this particular search page. So I'm actually going to go into the extension and I'm going to remove sponsored products from my view. So I'm going to customize this. I'm going to remove sponsored products, apply, because I'm only going to look at organic products right now. Now, I told you earlier, as a rough rule of thumb, I was saying about 3,000 units per month, right? So I see on here that there's 500 sales, 240, 130, 340. So it's like, if I were to add these up, we're probably looking more like 1,000 to 2,000 sales, and they're pretty spread out compared to, like I was saying, I'm looking for like roughly 3,000 sales. And again, what I told you earlier is like, at the end of the day, I'm essentially looking for the opportunity that has the biggest differential between demand and competition. So this particular one, the demand, I would say like it's medium, like it's decent, right? Whereas the competition, it's medium to low, right? 47, 56, 55, 23, 39. Here's a few that don't have any reviews at all. And then if I look over the listing quality scores, a 7 and a 6, but then a 4, 4, 6, 5, 4. So it's like the competition's not very steep, but it doesn't have quite enough demand for me to be excited about this particular niche. And I'm teaching you about how my brain works, but it also shows that to me right up here. It's medium demand with low competition. So, so this particular opportunity is not enough demand for me to get excited about it. So let's go ahead and look for a couple more. So I'm just looking for something that looks interesting and that there are, that looks like it'd be fairly easy for me to get manufactured. These are parfait dessert cups. Let's go ahead and search for this on Amazon. I see a bunch of different types of dessert cups. And again, I'm going to run the Jungle Scout extension. Now, while this loads, I'll just tell you that, the product research phase is an extremely important phase in this whole process. So what you'll notice as you're watching over my shoulder as I do this is it does take a little bit of time, right? Jungle Scout makes it way easier and it's way faster than just trying to sit there and think of different ideas. But it does, you do have to look through some different opportunities. It's not like something that you just click a button and it comes up right away. Realistically, I've been doing this a while, so I'll probably be able to find something faster. But realistically, I'd probably say most people spend at least 5, maybe 10 hours of doing product research before they decide on what product they want to sell. And this is a really important part of the entire process because essentially, if you purchase a product that doesn't really have any demand or it's too competitive, then it's going to be really hard for that product to ever do well on Amazon. So out of the entire process, this is the most important part to get this part right, okay? So don't be afraid to spend some serious time kind of going through this. So this particular product, it looks like demand's pretty good, 400, 800, 1,000, 500. So I'd say 5,000, maybe more sales. Reviews, 35, 97, 62, 18, 14, 11. I mean, there's some decent options here that have fairly low reviews, all right? So, I mean, it has enough sales and low enough reviews for me to kind of take it to the next level a little bit. The next thing I start to look at is I start to look at the net. So it's okay, it seems like there's enough money for me to work with there. As far as listing quality score, I see a few 7s and 8s, but I also see 5s and 6s, which I think is perfectly fine. So overall, this is a good enough opportunity, or I'm excited enough about this opportunity to take it to the next level. So when that's the case, the best way to organize your different ideas are going to be to hop into the product tracker, all right? And there's 2 ways to do this, but I'm going to show you it this way. I'm going to open it as a new tab to not lose the product database, but I'm going to create a new category or a new group, and what did I say these things were called? Parfait, dessert, what do I call them? Cups or bowls, doesn't really matter. So parfait dessert cups, it's recommending some different ones to me. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'll delete a few of those later. I'm gonna go ahead and add a few of those to this particular group. Now, the reason that this is important, and the reason that I encourage you to do this is, if you're spending 5-10 hours on product research, you're going to come up with a lot of product ideas throughout this process, right? And it's easy to forget about these. And I used to try to keep these in a spreadsheet or whatever else. But the easiest way now to do it is to just keep these inside of the product tracker, because it's a really good way to not only remember or organize the different product ideas that you come up with, but it also has this ability right here in the overview tab to have one view that you can compare all these different product ideas that you're coming up with, all right? So this is how I go about saving the different product ideas that I am coming up with. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this lesson. While I do, or after I do that, I'm gonna delete some of these product groups to make sure that we can add some more together. And then the next lesson, we're going to spend some time looking through the opportunity finder. And if we haven't come up with enough good ideas after spending a little bit of time together in the product database and in the opportunity finder, then we'll jump back into either one or the other or both. So you guys can spend some more time watching over my shoulder as you see how my brain works when I'm vetting these different product ideas. So I'll see you in the next lesson.